Dave, call this number back. I need $25 for this walk around sit down chair.
Production.
Good evening, and thank you to those who are joining us live on Facebook and on YouTube. Very special welcome to those who are joining us for the very first time. This is episode 52 of Been Around the Block. We've grown into something that we feel like is starting to make an impact. And just in the last 90 days, we've been able to reach 2.2 million plus people. Please don't forget to like, share, and follow our page. Continue being a part of this movement. And our goal at Been Around the Block is to continue on our mission to help destigmatize addiction and prove that not only your life won't be boring, but the best years are yet to come. Even if you don't identify with what our mission is, these stories of triumphing over adversity are something we can all identify with. We also need to note that Been Around the Block is no way associated with, affiliated, nor do endorse any specific program of recovery. Our view is that your story is your story, and there are many ways that people are able to recover their lives from the bondage of addiction. One of our goals is to prove that no matter how we get there, we're all able to live a life that God has intended for each and every single one of us. Without any further ado, my name is Brooks. You can find me on all the social medias at Quirky Cliche Name. We also have Christopher Ross on Instagram and Facebook, I believe, at Chris DeBurr, and everybody's favorite national content creator, Bradley Nemo Sparks. And, of course, our guest for episode 52, one of our good friends, Payton Brown. How's everybody doing tonight?
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yep, doing good.
All right, so let's we had kind of talked to you. You said you got at April you had 5 years sober, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, April 26th.
That's good, man. How's everybody else doing tonight? Chris, you good?
Man, it's been a blessed day today. Today's been an amazing day. I got to ride a four-wheeler. I got to ride around on a tractor.
Was you mowing grass earlier?
Yeah, I was on the John Deere riding around.
That's community service. You didn't get paid for that, did you?
No, I did. I was getting paid.
I didn't know you mowed lawns for a living.
No, I was doing it at work for fun.
No.
We had grass. Dude, if you were out there in that grass, I would have to come find you, dude. That's how tall it was. I was on a brush hog. I wasn't just on a tractor. I was on a brush hog. So I
just watched Forrest Gump the other day, and I think of the part where, like, I just mowed that grass for free.
No, man, I've been having a great day, man. Work's been great. My boss, she's awesome. You know, they've been showing me love in ways that I could only imagine for somebody that's doing the jobs that what I get to do is just like a blessing. I never expect to get to do the things that I do. I still get to help people, and I still get to do what I want to do.
Chris, I love you, bro, so much. Like the attitude of gratitude that you always carry, man. I love it. So my day, I woke up. I haven't been able to hear, guys, in my left ear. I haven't let nobody know this for like a month.
I remember you saying something about that. I forgot.
Yeah, I was swimming at the lake, Lake Tin Killer. Shout out to Lake Tin Killer. On July 26th, and I thought I was just at that age where I can't go underwater anymore. I get water in my ears, you know. Well, the water had stayed in my ears for like 3 days, and my right ear cleared up. And then after that, my left ear never did. Like I couldn't hear nothing. So after like 2 weeks of it, after like 2 weeks, I'm tripping. Then after 3 weeks, I'm like Googling, reading Reddit, you know, because I ain't got health insurance. So I'm trying to find any home remedy I can to fix this ear problem. And I do the earwax candle. I did the drops. I got the little plastic scoops, and I was trying to scoop earwax out, thinking, you know, trying to get that water, and because I could still feel pressure. And then I started reading about sudden hearing loss, and I was like, man, maybe I'm just, you know, because I'm about to be 40 on Tuesday, and maybe I'm just, you know, I lost my vision, or my vision was going bad. I had to wear glasses. Now my hearing is going bad. Maybe I'm just gonna have to get a hearing aid, you know. So I sucked it up today and went to an ENT just to figure out what's going on. You know, I was ready to accept it if I was deaf in my left ear. And I get in there and I talk to the doctor about my concerns about, you know, if it's sudden hearing loss. And she said, that's only if I look in your ear and find something that, you know, if I look in your ear and there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to hear, then it's probably sudden hearing loss, and you've already passed the point of being able to fix that. So I get in there, and as soon as she looks in my ear, she goes, she pretty much laughed at me. She's like, "Your whole ear canal is blocked with earwax." On both sides, bro. The amount of earwax she dug out of both my ears, as soon as yeah. Now, see that picture, Brooke?
Huh?
No, I got to send you this picture. So the
Oh,
amount.
I saw it. I
No.
saw it.
No.
Oh my
That
god!
happened to me as a kid, bro. And she pulled it out. It's like it looks like a fucking bumblebee. Like, ugh. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
Oh,
good, dude.
it was probably like 2 grams worth in my right ear, probably a G on my left ear. And it
Like,
was
weigh that shit.
And
Call
then,
Guinness, motherfucker.
well,
oh my
immediately
gosh.
walked out of that office, I could hear in HD. You know what I'm saying? Like I could hear every little thing, and I was like, man, how long have I been suffering from this? You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to the ENTs, y'all. Go get your damn ears cleaned out by a doctor. You'll love it. I promise.
Wow. How am I supposed to follow that? I'm not going to. So Payton, just hop in, man.
Oh man, I'm reeling at Nemo because look what I'm about to do here. He's been around the block because he talked about earwax in the form of grams because that about sent me off, homie. Oh, Nemo, man, and Nemo, I've watched you for so long, and I think we've met once. It might have been at Blake Beckner's, a long time ago. But I think y'all are all so amazing, and man, my day has just been great. God's blessing with an opportunity to start a company, so we've been taking off. I mean, we tripled our revenue within a week, and so I am just not sleeping, so I'm exhausted. But I can't complain. It's been a pretty amazing day.
Awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
5 years, bro. 5 years. How old are you, Payton?
30, 98, 88, 37. Old enough to forget my age. There you go.
Okay. Did you ever think you would have 5 years?
Man, what's strange is I was sober for 3 years. I came in May 5th of 17, and I never thought, relapse was possible. I just, it was like, okay, I've got this figured out. It's never going to happen. And then it did, coming back around this time, I watched all of my friends get 5 years, all of these guys that I got sober with. And I remember sitting there thinking like, man, I screwed up. I'm back in kindergarten, and everybody's over here graduating 5th grade and moving on to junior high kind of a thing. And I had a really good friend of mine, Mitzi, tell me, she's like, you didn't lose a single thing. She goes, you didn't lose the knowledge. You didn't lose the know-how. You didn't lose the action. In that moment, you lost your action. So you just keep taking one step at a time, and you just do what you've been taught to do, and you let God take over. And eventually you'll have, time, and you won't even realize it. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Is we're past the 5-year point, and the days are just the days now. I don't count. When I first got sober, it was like, ooh, 28 days or ooh, 36 days and 12 hours. And now it just is what it is.
It just becomes a lifestyle. Like you don't think, like when I tell people how many days I have to look back on my sobriety calendar, and the calendar that calculates it for you. Look, because it becomes a lifestyle and it becomes a habit. You create them new habits and you live in those habits.
Yeah.
And you're a normal person so long as you don't take that first drink or drug.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
what you just said just a minute ago is one of the people that did my intakes at 12 and 12 in Tulsa, I'm not gonna say names or anything, but had like 20 something years and went back out. And this person, like when they were talking to me, just was really discouraged. I'm like, you didn't lose anything. Yeah, you have to reset your date or whatever, but that doesn't mean all the knowledge that you gained over the 20 plus years is gone.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Sometimes you lived through it. There's a lot of people that don't fucking live through that,
For sure.
Well, and I think there's an emotion that's behind it. When I was in TRC in 17, Never. I love that place. Never want to go back to that place. There was a guy who had 30 something years, and he went back out. And my last day of detox, I'm leaving, and he's sitting on a chair, and I will never forget this man's face. Complete defeat, utter defeat, numb, no feeling, no emotion, no words. He barely looked like he was breathing. And I just remember that being just so shocked, like, wow, dude, that's gotta hurt. But then on the other side of it too, like you just said, you start back and you just keep going,
Well, and it doesn't matter how much time you have. Nobody's completely immune to it, man. I mean, as
never.
cliche as it sounds, your addiction's out there doing push-ups, waiting on you. I've heard that 1,000 times, but it's true. So,
well, and I can barely do push-ups. You feel me? So I gotta stay spiritually fit.
Hey, bro, hey. So I gotta ask the crowd real quick. I gotta ask the people in the comments. Do y'all have TikTok? Okay, if y'all watch TikTok videos or Facebook reels, does Payton, our guest tonight, not look like Dalton ain't worried?
Oh my goodness!
Comment. It's crazy how much you resemble that dude.
Well, it's good lighting and a really long beard. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's the glasses. The glasses. That's awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
Man, Payton, I'm so glad that you decided to come on, man. I remember whenever I got I think it was 2 years ago when I got my 3-year chip, you were there.
Yeah.
You were there when I got it, and you were one of the people that you were on crutches, and you were like struggling. I could tell, and it looked, I could see it that you were just like ready, like you were just like so like kind of lost, like you couldn't do nothing about it. You were just like suffering, and you were just like. You know how when you want something so much that you just see it and it's like right there, but you're like, I'm fucked. I can't get it. Like it's just like that. And then I started seeing you places and seeing you walking around and see how much happier you were. Like, God, I'm glad that you healed up too. I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, I really appreciate that, man, very much. That was a really rough time. I was 3 years or something sober. I was working 3 jobs just trying to pay bills, man. And I was coaching gymnastics. I'd been a gymnastics coach for 15 years, former gymnast. And anytime I'd struggle with money or finding purpose, I would just go back to coaching because it's natural for me. And I went and I had a boss and I didn't listen. I wasn't being humble. I wasn't listening. She told me not to tumble. And I was tumbling with my coaches that I was training, and my Achilles just like it just exploded. I'm short, but I'm a big boy. You know what I mean? I'm 238. Like I'm
I was gonna say
dude.
you're like my size.
So my body and I've tumbled since I was 4, but my body said F you. And when you lose that ability to walk, like spraining your ankle or breaking a bone is different, but when you lose your ability to walk, it does something to you. And so I found a lot of gratitude in people in my recovery community that helped me, man. They showed up and showed out. They brought me food. They did my laundry. Guys that I mentor would come and they would pick me up and bring me places. I've never felt more grateful and blessed to be a part of the community that I'm a part of, from that experience. But yeah, I wouldn't wish that or surgery on my worst enemy, man. That was not a fun experience.
That was almost exactly 2 years ago, like a week away from 2 years whenever I seen you.
Oh,
and I remember it.
Wow, dude, time flies by so fast. It really does.
Well, Payton, tell us how it all started, man.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Man, I think the first time I was introduced to alcohol or drugs or whatever you want was, we were living in Louisiana. I was little. My parents were real big drinkers. That was the only thing to do down there was work and drink. And so I think me and my neighborhood friend Tatum, we stole a 6-pack of my dad's beer and we snuck behind like a tree and just, we'd take a sip and we're like, ugh, it was gross, but we thought we were cool. So, we drank all 6, but not really. We'd sip it and pour it out. And I remember that taste of alcohol being so disgusting. And, that wasn't really, it wasn't about the taste. And then, I'd find my mom's little Virginia Slim Ultra Light menthol 120s, the big Cruella DeVille
That's
cigarette.
what I started on, man, actually.
Dude, horrible cigarettes, but they were everywhere. So that's what I started smoking. And
did she have one of the cigarette pack holders?
The big leather with the clip thing at the top.
My grandmother had that one, dude, and it had like the little clip that was like that, and you'd pop it.
Yeah. If you didn't have a mom, it was an Aunt Rhonda that had one of those. It was always an Aunt Rhonda for sure.
Aunt Rhonda or Mama? Oh yeah.
For Granny.
Red shorts in the box and my mom's cigarette holder. That's how I'd always sneak those.
Oh my gosh, man! No, she would. My mom would keep them in the packs, but they would have cartons of them in like the fridge or in the freezer. I don't know why we put those in the freezer. I have no idea. But
they're easier to steal for us. I remember that.
Yeah, so was the vodka. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, just as a young kid doing dumb stuff like that, and the candy cigarettes, I always wanted to be cool like my parents, and little things, and I wasn't like a lot of other people, I guess maybe in that age group. So when I got into junior high and high school, I wasn't doing drugs. I wasn't really drinking. I started smoking heavily at 16, and I mean, it was like 2 packs a day, Marlboro Reds, Cowboy Killers, just anything to look more manly and more cool. And the first time I got drunk, I got alcohol poisoning. Thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Woke up with no hangover. Did it maybe a couple of more times throughout my high school career. But I was one of those, we had a big prom group for senior year and we're like, no drugs, no alcohol. We even kicked somebody out of our group that night because they brought weed, because heaven forbid the devil's lettuce is at a high school prom. And
I haven't heard it called that.
I've always loved that saying. But when I turned 18, man, I really didn't know where I was going in life. All of my friends were going to college. I barely graduated. Like, I think I had like a 1.76 GPA. I had to take Algebra 2 twice. I had to be tutored by my teacher all year long. And I graduated by the skin of my teeth. And I had actually gotten sworn in to go to boot camp with the Navy. And this was back in 2006. It was delayed entry program, and Don't Ask, Don't Tell was still very much active. And I had come out when I was like 16 or 17, and that was a whole litany of crap on itself. But I got scared. I did not want to go to the military because I thought someone would find out, I would get killed, or, it was a scary time for a gay man to be in the military. And so I actually went to my recruiter and was like, hey man, I'm not going to boot camp. And he's like, oh no, you're going. I said, no, can't. Yeah. I said, I can't go. I'm gay. And he goes, you son of a, and he cussed me out and he goes, get out of here. And so that was how I came out to my recruiter. And that is how I got out of going into the military, which I honestly, looking back, if there was one regret I have over all of my addiction issues, I wish I had gone. I wish I had gone, but you can't change the past. So that kind of started this thought process in me of, I'm not worthy of anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not smart. I don't like to work. I barely coach gymnastics anymore. Like I had no plan in life. And I met this guy that I was dating, and I got introduced to, the club scene in Houston and drinking a lot. I was introduced to cocaine in a bathroom of a club in Houston. And I was told, like, here, this will wake you up. And I was like, no, I can't. My mom will kill me. I remember specifically saying my mom would kill me if she ever found out I did cocaine. And he goes, don't worry. I'm not going to give you anything that will kill you. And so, stupidly and drunk, I'm like, oh, cool, sure, And I did it. It woke me up. And man, that feeling of just being invigorated and getting a second wind off of alcohol, changed me. It completely changed me. And I chased that high for 10 years. You know, man, I couldn't hold down jobs. I was constantly being fired. I was stealing from my friends. They knew they couldn't leave their purses around me because I was stealing cigarettes and money. I was the person that would steal from you and help you look for your shit. Like
you were stealing cigarettes in your 20s for people?
Bro.
Just hit up Walgreens and be like, I need this, and just take off. That's what I would do.
Oh no, bro. We would go to an unnamed place, okay? Because I'm sure the statute of limitations is out, but we're gonna be safe here. And we'd get our little cute friend. She was Nemo, about your size. She was, you know, about. But we'd get her to bring this huge bag in, and we would put bottles of wine in it, and we'd steal alcohol from this grocery store every weekend. I owe this establishment so much money. Like, there is no it anyway, it's crazy. So did that, and I would steal from everyone, man. Like drug dealers. I stole from one dude while he was watching me do it. And I was so messed up, I was pretending that he couldn't see me behind my hand, like when you hide behind a leaf when you're a kid. I was so far gone that I just did not care about consequences. And I had no idea.
Xanax. That sounds like some shit I would do on Xanax. Like try to steal in front of your face, like you can't see me. Like, whoop.
Bruh, it was like when I look back on that memory now, I get like the heebie-jeebies, you know, because I'm like, oh my God, I could have gotten shot. Like multiple times I should have been shot, you know? And that's just one story. That's just the tip of the iceberg, man. There was so much crazy stuff that happened from 20 to 30. And, you know, I swore I would never do meth. I swore I'd never be, you know, I would never be like my dad. I was never going to be homeless. I mean, my childhood home got, what's not repossessed. The bank took it, whatever you call it. Thank you. I mean, there was times that we didn't have food, you know, and I hated my dad. And I said, I do not want to become like my father. And, lo and behold, I had no idea what he was dealing with. I had no idea what I was dealing with at the time. And I started doing meth here and there, you know, because I had heard it'll keep you up for a few days. And I moved to that a little bit more frequently. And then around 2015 and 16, man, a lot of crazy stuff happened. My best friend was murdered. She struggled with the same thing I struggle with. The boyfriend, you know, strangled her and then shot himself in the head in a hotel room. And that kind of sent me off. Like, I got fired from the best job I ever had because I couldn't deal with my emotions and I couldn't stop doing drugs. I moved to Austin because I was like, oh, Austin's a great place to get sober. And I found the needle. And in 2 months, I was injecting myself 15 times a day to the point where drug dealers were telling me, we cannot sell to you. You need to go to treatment.
Was it hard? Was it hard for you to make that jump from, you know, snorting it to the needle?
It wasn't hard. It was scary. Like everything in my body, which I now know was God trying to tell me get the hell out of there, was screaming, "Don't do it!" And it was not hard, man. But the first time I did it, I believe humans are not meant to experience the type of euphoria that comes with that type of drug use, any type of drug use. But that felt like pure ecstasy. And I could not get enough, to the point that within 2 months, my car got repoed. None of the drug dealers wanted anything to do with me. All my money was gone. You know, it was bad. And then I was hanging around some really bad people. I didn't know it at the time. But towards the end of my stay in Austin, I was drugged in a hotel room with GHB. And the guy that I was hanging out with, that I used to do drugs with, videotaped himself attacking me and sent it to my cell phone. And that was kind of what woke me up. It didn't change everything for me right away, but it woke me up going, wow, somebody just took complete advantage of me, had no qualms about doing it, and then had the balls to send it to my cell phone.
Yeah,
So, that kind of started my journey here to Oklahoma. There was a couple years I couldn't sleep without waking up, and like my body would twitch in really weird ways. I know now it's called PTSD. I couldn't sleep in my own home unless somebody else was there. I had to have roommates or somebody there. When I moved here, and so that chaos really brought me here.
You didn't have family in Oklahoma at all?
No, there was no one here in Oklahoma that I knew. I met a guy on, well, let's just say the internet, and and we're gonna leave it right there, brother. And he was like, "Hey, blah blah blah." We got to know each other, and he said, "Hey, I think you need to get the hell out of Texas." And I said, "Okay." And he brought me here, and then I started doing, what we do, stealing his truck, doing drugs, all the things. Wound up homeless again out here, and then it was May 5th of 2017 that I found my way to TRC, and then my recovery journey kind of started.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when you first got. You said you got 3 years, and then relapsed, and then.
Yes. Yeah. So I started at the detox center. I ended up at DRI, and then I was offered a full scholarship to Rob's Ranch in Purcell. A guy found me and thought I deserved, I don't know, more of an opportunity.
Isn't DRI the halfway house? Or the old house?
I think it's how they do the DBA or whatever. It's community house in the city.
Yeah, it's community house.
It's closed down now, correct?
No, community house is still open.
Yeah, I think community house.
Okay, it's called it's the same as community house. Got you. Okay.
Yeah. So I was there, and man, I had done like 3 months. I said 3 months clean time, and I met the CFO of Rob's Ranch one day, and he said, "We'd like to offer you a place here. We think that you could really benefit from the type of counseling that we offer." And when I tell you that place absolutely changed my life, shout out to Rob's Ranch. I learned what brotherhood was. I learned what friendship was at that place. I learned that I had so many just character defects. And I couldn't trust men at this point. I'd been sexually assaulted by this guy out there. I never learned how to become a good friend to my guy friends or my girlfriends. And so when I got sober and I got to this place, all these dudes, these good old boys from like the western parts of Oklahoma, are, "We love you, bro." Just all of these things that you don't hear and you don't expect straight men to say, but big old country fed, dudes tell you that they love you and walk through pain with you and trauma with you and call you out on your crap. That place absolutely changed my life. I learned that I was a victim. I played the victim a lot, and that I thought I was special and different from anyone in the world. God created me for a very specific purpose, and if you don't know it, I'm going to tell you about it. That was my attitude for years. And that place really humbled me and changed me. So anyway, did, the whole sober living thing, got to almost 3 years sober, and I thought I had God telling me in my ear that I needed to let go of my sexuality, that I needed to not be gay anymore, and I needed to not work any type of program that was not biblical. And so I went to a little place in the state of Kentucky, and I gave up everything in my life that I had learned in 3 years, and I went there. And
hey, somebody block this weirdo in our comment section real quick.
Which one?
That Vincent guy.
That's from your page, dog.
All right, let me handle this.
Let me check it and see if it's mine. I don't think it's mine. Pretty sure it's not mine.
Sorry, guys. I get a lot of haters, so excuse me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Excuse me real quick.
Fuck your victim. Your purpose doesn't mean shit. I'm sorry. That's funny, man. Hey, we're all entitled to our own opinion, and that's cool. I didn't even know there was a comment section, man. So
There is, yeah. You can look on the right of your. Well, you're on a phone, right?
Just
So
gonna
Yeah.
ban Vincent Vitale from the stream.
Oh, you from the street? Okay.
From the stream. So
let me see if it's on the BATB page. Hold on.
hey. All
Here,
right, there we
I'm
go.
looking right
There
now.
we go.
You get him gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
Was he from yours?
Of course he's from mine. That's bro. I get all the haters, bro.
Wait, no, he's still in there.
Is he still in there?
Better recognize, he says.
Oh, better recognize.
Oh, we got
okay.
everybody else is jumping to our defense, but nice.
Oh man. Okay. Well, whatever. People are allowed to think and say whatever they want, man. It doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother you guys. So y'all just tell me what to do.
Not at all, man. Hey, look, we're here to spread hope and spread awareness on addiction. I get weirdos like this all the time in my comments. Like, you gotta really not have a life.
Yeah, to jump on and be a keyboard warrior on somebody else's stream.
That was the first thing me and old Nemo connected over is one of my posts about that. The guy who's in the hotel room and he's hitting up the tablet. Yeah. Is he gone?
I just went through and blocked his ass, period.
Well, there you go.
All right, there we go. There. Hey.
Oh, so
hey, yeah. If I got any haters watching this right now, save your hateful comments for my other videos, not for the live stream, okay? Like, I love when y'all hate on my videos because y'all just drive the algorithm up. But come on, man, this guy's trying to share his story, and how he overcame addiction. So carry on. Go ahead.
Well, and at the end of the day, too, man, you know what? Let the haters hear a message because this is all about what God and Christ did in my life. So maybe they need to hear that. But yeah. Where was I? Okay, so. Oh, yeah, Kentucky. So tried to ungay myself. My mom likes to call it my gay relapse, and we laugh about it now.
I'm sorry. Did you say ungay yourself?
Ungay myself, yes.
I think they tried to do that with my cousin John, too. I don't think
God. Well, man, I've tried to change this aspect of myself so many times throughout my life that today I'm 100% comfortable with me and Christ's relationship. My partner and I, Michael, we pray together. We believe in Christ together. And I got to pray for a partner in life. And God brought me him. And so that's amazing. But back then, I was scared. I was afraid. I was still struggling with PTSD. I was scared I was going to go to hell. I was afraid of everything. So I went, and about a few weeks in, I had some weird stuff happen. And they were like, it was very culty and very creepy. So I left. I almost had to fight a guy to give me back my keys because he took my car keys and he's like, you're not going anywhere. And I was like, look, bro, I'm not violent, but I promise you I'm about to throw myself across this desk and knock your ass out if you don't give me my damn keys. And he handed me my keys. And I mean, it's a 12, 14-hour drive, so I left and got a hotel and what I should have done is come straight back to Oklahoma, but I went to Texas, said, let's have a vacation. And I wasn't praying. I wasn't helping other people. I wasn't talking to my mentors, nothing. And this thought came across my head, like, go hook up with somebody. I know he's got meth at his place. I don't have to do the meth. And then it turned into, well, I can just smell it. Well, let me just taste it. And then before you know it, I'm high again. And I didn't even get to enjoy it because it was right when COVID hit and everything was shutting down. And I got a text from a friend that was like, hey, I might have COVID. And I said it out loud at this person's house. And they were like, you got to get out of here, bro. Like, I'm high in Houston, miserable, trying to find a hotel to stay in. And I had to call my people out here in Oklahoma and say, hey, I relapsed. And, shout out to my guy, Christo, if he's watching right now, man. I called him and said, I want to come home. And he goes, nah, let me call Jason B, little J. And that guy had worked with me for years, and they said, you need to go back to sober living. So Solid Rock Recovery is where I went.
Shout out to Solid Rock Recovery.
Solid Rock, man. That place is amazing. And Dusty D and a whole bunch of people, man, just loved me, right back into recovery. It was like I never missed a beat. And I worked a stronger recovery program than I had ever worked. And I remembered to ask God to help me put aside everything that I thought I knew about what I was doing. And I did that for months. And it just completely changed the game for me, you know? And so, yeah, now I've been sober for a little over 5 months. And some days I can't. I'm sure you guys know what this is like. You know, you sit down and you meditate over where you're at in life, and you look back on the stupid shit you've done, and you think, "Oh my God, man, was that me?" Like it's like almost like someone else lived your life in your body, made all these decisions, and you've got to deal with the consequences of it.
Now you said months. You mean years? 5 years?
Years. Yeah. Yes. Years.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Did I say months?
Yeah,
You
it's
said
just
months.
fine.
Bradley was about to kick you off, just like
He's like, get him off here. It's been 5 years.
Come back when you got 7 more.
Mimo, it's been 5 years, bro. I'm sorry. I'm tired, man. I've been up since 5 a.m.
Nah, you're good, brother. 5 years, man. So in that time, you know, like one of the things I always remember in the program, and because you know, before I've tried to get sober other ways, like whether it was, you know, through the MAP program, you know,
Benadryl.
Substituting one addiction for another. I've tried just smoking weed. I've tried, you know, just drinking on weekends. Just, you know, it wasn't. So one of the lines that really helped me in the program was the idea that you can drink like normal people has to be smashed. The idea that you are like that has to be smashed. And my sponsor said, you know, he illustrated it like this. What happens when you smash something? You know, if I take my phone and I smash it to pieces, I can't put that back together. So he said, you can't ever put that idea that you can ever have a drink or a drug back together. Don't ever put that idea. So once I let go of that, you know, that I could ever have a drink or drug again, it opened up so many things in life that I could do.
Yeah.
You know, so that is where I totally put that behind me. You know, I can't when I go out, you know, say I go out to eat with my little sister, she can have one drink, you know, which is crazy to me. You know, people can do that, but you can't. You know, I got a coworker, you know, we go out of town and he brings his marijuana with him. And, you know, after work, he'll smoke his little joint and, you know, and he'll call it a night and he's good. You know, if I take a hit of that joint, I promise you a couple weeks later, I'm going to be probably rolling a bowl of meth in the same hotel room.
If that, dude.
It's never enough for me, you know? And so that completely annihilating that idea that I'm like normal people, you know, opened up so many doors for me of what I could do. You know, I had to, and so for me, you know, when I say I surrender every day, that's what I surrender. Because, you know, what I want to do on a daily, I want to destroy myself with alcohol and drugs. Every day I wake up, that's what Brad wants to do. He wants to wake up, get high, get drunk, you know, and numb his feelings. He wants to run from his problems. But so when I surrender every day, I wake up and I say no to that. And I say yes to a better life every day. And I have to do that daily. You know, I have to surrender daily. I believe there's a moment of surrender and there's that daily surrender. You know what I'm saying? There's that moment where I say, I'm done. I'm deciding it's over. I'm done. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then there's that daily surrender where I wake up and I have to do it again. I have to do it again. I have to never forget that I'm not like normal people. I can't take that drink or drug. I can never take that drink or drug, and I'm okay with it. I've accepted it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when do you think in your 5 years, when do you think you came to that point where you accepted that and it opened up so many doors for other things?
Wow, man. First, I want to say that is probably one of my favorite, like, portions of the recovery program is knowing the difference between a normal drinker and somebody like me. I'm the same way. And that, I think, when I came back in from the relapse, I went, wow, okay. I can't do this normally. I cannot drink, drug, anything normally. You know, I can't. My life goes straight to shit very, very quickly. And my mind goes insane. I was the type of tweaker that would play Window Nintendo for hours, that thought everybody was the Popo or the FBI and that you wanted to murder. I honestly don't know how I was not killed by other tweakers. I was insane. And it happened within an hour the last time I relapsed. So when I came back in, I think that reality hit me really hard, that I'm different. I'm not bad. I'm not better. I'm different. My brain is different. And you know, so throughout the process of these past 5 years, man, it's that first year was tough. I didn't want to go back out and drink or drug. I knew that I could not have as much as one drug or drink. But I think around 2 or 3 years, the what is it called?
The reservation?
Not even reservation, like the lanyap, the memory, the fun memory of just a martini, like a dirty martini. I loved the taste of dirty martinis. And I was like, I can't have those. I would love to have just one dirty martini, but I cannot, because it's going to turn into a meth binge. And I'll be just like Nemo. I'll be in a hotel, rolling a bowl, spending all my money and stealing from everybody. It's not going to be cute.
It took me dropping acid one time. I had a needle in my arm in 30 minutes. Like, I
I'm
walked
like-
through the old block, man, and was just like, hey, you're like, oh, yeah, I got you, bro. So
I'm like the type of person I'm like, man, fuck the smoking weed, fuck having a drink. I'm gonna sell everything I got and I'm gonna go have a good time. I'm that dude. I'm that dude. People go, oh, you give me a week, I'll burn my life down to the ground. I'm like, you give me about 10 seconds.
I'll say it don't take that much for me.
No, and it doesn't take long either, man. Like, I don't, you know, I'm a very simple guy. I'm very simplistic, minimalist. I barely buy myself new socks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have nice stuff. I have the bare minimum. So losing all that stuff really was never at the mind. It was what happens when my mind breaks that final time and I'm stuck in a psych ward for the rest of my life. What happens if I go back out and I drive a car and I end somebody else's life? What happens if I take my own life? You know, I got to a place at 2 or 3 years sober where I was having suicidal thoughts this past round. And I have to be very careful about what I put inside my body because the enemy wants me dead. The enemy knows that God has a purpose in my life the same way that he does in y'all's lives, right? And it's to help other people like us find sobriety and find their purpose in life. And so if I'm not careful, the enemy will get in my, and I say the enemy, I believe in the devil. I say the devil will get in my head and he'll talk some shit to me and make me believe that it's all going to be okay if I just go do it one more time. So, man, honestly, ever since that 3-year mark, I just know. I wake up and I ask God to keep me sober. I ask him to restore me to sanity. Very, very simple. Just keep me sane and help me from making stupid decisions like drinking or drugging. And everything else, man, just kind of works itself out, you know? So I've just gotten to that point where I know if I do something like that again, I'm making a conscious decision to say fuck you to God, to say fuck you to the people that helped me get to where I am. And it's just not a conscious decision I'm willing to make today.
So did you only have like one relapse?
Yeah,
that was my experience, and that was enough for me, thank God. And it's just, and that's why I've really dug in the last year or so, and really like do the other things, man. If you have health ailments, go to the doctor. If you need to talk to a psychiatrist, man, do that shit. Do whatever you got to do. You know, use the church, use whatever program you use. You got to, you know, I know that if I get complacent, then I start sliding backwards. That's just been my experience, and can't go back. It'll kill me. So
yeah. And you said your first year was rough. That my first year was the hardest of, you know, I'm going on 8 years now, and that first year was the hardest for me because I like what some people say, you know, you spend so much time effing up your life, you know, you have to unfuck yourself when you get sober, you know, and it's there was a lot of emotions and a lot of that's why I'm so big on the steps. The step work does it's the work that gets you brand new again. You know what I'm saying? Like it's put in simple ways for people like us to get to God.
And for me, dude, it only took 50% of pursuing the way I pursued alcohol and shit like that.
Yes, bro.
That's all it takes, man. If you do that, you're in good shape, man. But if you
agreed.
give it more than that, then shit, you're gonna be floating, man. If you're not
you're gonna be Nemo if you give more than 50%, right?
He's got that 53%. Look at this motherfucker.
But man, no, that's one of my motivations. Like I was a very motivational addict. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember riding my bicycle in an ice storm, in like freezing cold weather just to go get my fix 5 miles down the street. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding, I'm pedaling, I'm slipping and hitting ice and busting my ass every 30 feet. But I made it to the dope man's house. That's how persistent I was and how motivated I was to get my fix. So once I got sober, if I could take that same motivation and put it into my sobriety, man, you know what I'm saying? Like
you can almost not fail, man.
And that's another thing. You gotta put that same motivation. Like I tell guys at the sober house, when they can't pay their rent or, what was you doing all week? You know what I'm saying? Like
did that stop you before?
You could come up with $150 for your rent, but I bet you could have came up with $150 for that bag in a day.
In 30 minutes, bro, 30 minutes, I would have had that $150 for that bag.
And you gotta use that same motivation that you used in your addiction, in your recovery.
Yeah.
So, what's life look like now, Payton?
Wow, man, life.
You just started a business. You like we kind of talked before we came on stage, but just kind of break that down and tell us where you're at now, what your plans are.
Right on, man. Yeah, little plug. The Bubbly Bear Cleaning Services just opened the company a couple of weeks ago, and we're doing house and apartment cleaning. And give me a call, guys. I'll clean your house. No, man, it's really amazing. I never thought in a million years that I would go back to school. I hated school. I was horrible at math. I didn't like to learn. I felt stupid, and so now oh my gosh, I've been in school. This is my senior year on Monday. So 4 years ago, I was sitting and I was like, okay, God, what do I do with my life? And he's like, go back to school, become a nurse. That lasted about half a semester. And I was like, no, I want to switch it. And I had a mentor of mine tell me that if I didn't become a therapist, I'd be wasting the talent that God gave me. And something smacked me right between the eyes. And I was like, I've never heard that before. God. And then I switched to a psych major. And so, these past 4 years have been amazing, man. I've met some amazing professors. I graduate next May with my BS in psychology. I've only gotten 1 C my entire college career. I'm pretty good at math now, which has got to be the Lord, because I promise you I'm not that smart. A couple years ago, I started praying for God to bring someone into my life that I could love, that I could pray with, that I could do life with. Because my biggest struggle with the past 5 years was loneliness. All of my friends and family got married, had babies, all these things. And I was just Uncle Payton, the cool Uncle Payton, everybody's uncle, Uncle Pepe. And I wanted to be a husband. I wanted to be a father, potentially. And now I'm getting real old. We kind of talked before the thing. I don't know if I'm going to be a father, but that's in God's hands. But, I prayed and God brought me this amazing man. His name is Michael. And we get to pray together. And, Nemo was talking about going out with like his sister and she can have a drink. Michael can have a drink. I don't get it. It's ridiculous. It's alcohol abuse when you leave this much in the cup. That's stupid. And he'll have a couple drinks and he's like, I'm ready for bed, like he's tired. And that is not how I drank. But I have this amazing person in my life who prays with me. And that was not something I ever saw happening. I never saw a man in my life that would honor the Lord and honor Jesus with me. To to me, that is just the biggest blessing I've gotten from all of this, and started a company 2 weeks before my senior year of college. I don't know who is dumb enough to do that. It's ridiculous. I'm going to tell everyone that's listening, don't do that. It is not smart.
Maybe you're going to create a new market, psychotherapist cleaning service. I mean,
what's hilarious is my best friend texted me that. Yeah, she's like, you're going to walk into a home and it's going to be completely filthy. And
you're going to be going, what's wrong with their heads, bro?
Yes, you'll know that, okay, this person might be mentally ill, so I'm going to offer you therapy services and I'm going to clean your house. I was like, that sounds great, but from a marketing perspective, I don't know how you professionally pull that off without pissing a lot of people off. So, you know what, man, though, but life today is really amazing. I've got money in the bank. I've got food in the fridge. I've got people who love me. I get to mentor other men. My goal is to finish my master's degree and start a private practice for men like me, men who've been abused sexually, physically, mentally, drug addiction, all the things. I feel very called by God to speak to a very specific niche of men, because there was not a lot of people out there that could speak to all of my issues. I want to be that guy. I want to stand in the gap for other men who have no idea who to talk to. And I want to be the guy that helps change the narrative about what manhood looks like. Right.
Well, even nowadays, there's a lot of stigma that comes with what you were talking about. It's just, even though as open as the society is, it is super, there's still amount of shame that comes with that. And it's very taboo to even speak about stuff like that,
Well, it is, because, we're not going to get political, but, being a man is looked down upon by a lot of society, and I want to change that narrative. And that's why I started the company was, you can have a guy that looks like me and I'm a big old bubbly bear. I'm happy. I cry. I can be tough sometimes, but you can trust me today. And that is all because of the recovery program that God allowed me to work, right? There's men like all of us that want to help other people, that have been through the hells, that have been around the block, if you will. I freaking love the name of y'all's podcast. It's so perfect. And we're here and we want to help. And there's so many men that are too scared to help or too scared to ask for help. And that has to change. There's too many men dying that don't have to. So.
All right.
So, man, this has been a great episode. Chris, do you want to go and throw the question up there for Payton? So, how are you serving others in your own recovery? You've kind of touched on that. I.e., how are you giving back what was given to you?
Yeah, man. So 2 parts. I give back what was given to me by teaching other men what was taught to me. I help them figure out where they struggle, what issues that they have, and how to deal with them. Teach them how to make right the wrongs in their lives. And I make sure that I am available for those that are willing to walk with me. If you don't want to do the work, that's fine. I will love you, but I'm not going to do more work than you're willing to do. So I'm very adamant about that with my guys. And I also try to serve with applying principles that I've been taught about spirituality, kindness, integrity, in all aspects of my life. I'm not perfect at this, but I do my best. I try to do it at work. I try to do it with my friends, my neighbors. All of our neighbors know they can come to us and ask us for anything they need all day, all night. Michael and I are very big on community and trying to serve the people that are around us. So I have a lady that lives next to me and she's very sweet, and anything she asks for, we do. We take her trash out for her. We, take her to the doctor, whatever we can do to help somebody who is, I don't want to sound condescending, but less fortunate in any area, we try to do for them. So that is how I try to serve other people.
Well, I think a good testament to that is not just in the recovery rooms. How do you treat your neighbor? How do you treat anybody? It's not just exclusive to people in recovery. And that's where I think the mark is missed with a lot of people in recovery. So,
I would agree.
And then, I manage this house over here, and we have a neighbor that lives across the street. We never see her. She has an issue. Sometimes she don't have her grass cut, and the owner of my house, he'll pull up. He'll be like, send one of those guys over there to go cut her yard, and I'll be like, hey, guess what? You guys get to go cut the yard across the street for free. And they're like, they're like, okay. I'm like, go do it. And like, I'll go help. I don't care about helping. We can go do it together. It's we live in a neighborhood, and we don't want our neighborhood to look down on us, because they know that they know everyone here is in recovery, and they like, we don't want to have that bad outlook. We had a guy overdose in the bathroom here. We've had the police called on certain things, and I want them to know that just because you see that, you'll see that with anybody. I don't care where you're at.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
So, do you want to answer that question, Chris? And then I'll get your question, Payton, for the next guest.
Okay.
How am I
I
serving?
think you just kind of answered that, I guess. Yeah, I mean.
Well, but what about you, Brooks?
How am I? I think in my professional career, I'm doing that to some capacity.
Besides your professional career?
Well, man, I could always improve on that. I mean, I feel like I've had a lot of people reach out, especially since we created the podcast, that I've made some friends that I would never expect to have made, and people like from back in the day in Tulsa that would reach out to me like, man, if you can get sober, I think I've got a chance, which is cool, and kind of being a cheerleader on the side for people, even if I can't mentor them or whatever like that, and I think one of the coolest things is, again, like helping the neighbors, in my case, holding the elevator for the old woman that's taking forever to go down the hallway and stuff like that. And, like I said, I could be super judgmental, but I think all in all, my actions are good. You know what I mean? So
I think we all can be that.
Yeah.
100.
I would say me. How are you serving others in your recovery? How are you giving back to what was given to you? I would say my platform. When I get to speak life in a video, speaking about recovery or sharing my testimony, the amount of messages I get of people saying, "It's because of your video I'm stopping today." You've given me, people that have been on Suboxone for 10 years and their doctor never gave them no taper program to get off of it. And they're like, man, you have given me hope that I can get off this crap. And, I would say just speaking life through my videos and, doing comedy. Laughter is the best medicine. And, whether you agree with how I do my comedy or not, the fact is I'm making a lot of people laugh, and I'm brightening up a lot of days with what I do. And that's just, I didn't have those gifts in my addiction. I didn't have the gift to make people laugh. I was miserable. And because I was miserable, I wanted everyone around me to be miserable also. So the fact that when I got clean, I love to laugh, and I find some of the stupidest crap funny, and I want to share that with y'all and make y'all laugh, and because I like stupid comedy. I love stupid comedy, and that's what it's in my heart to do that. So that would be one way that I think I do in my recovery. So.
Hey Nemo, I love what you do, man.
I love being a part of that. It's fun.
Yeah, I get to put my friends in my videos. Like I get to put so many people in my videos from Oklahoma and put OKC on the map. So man, God is good, bro. I never would have imagined if you told me like this would be my life today when I first got sober. I would say you're full of shit, but I'm learning to let go and let God do his thing. Like whatever that looks like, it's way better than the plan I had.
So, what's your question for our next guest, Payton?
So I guess my question for them would be, how do you incorporate your spouse or your loved ones into your spiritual or prayer life?
Ooh.
Deep.
Digging deep, homie.
Good one.
Okay, let me just. All right, how do you incorporate your loved ones? Okay.
Yeah. How do you incorporate your spouse or your loved ones into your spiritual or your prayer life?
Or loved ones.
Spiritual life or prayer life. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, Brooks,
Sir.
would you like to let these people know about what events that you have coming up? You
So
like speaking to
we got
people through music?
a pretty big one, and I'm not gonna bust my bandmates' balls too much, but we're all sober dudes, and we got our first ticketed show in Ardmore, USA. So all our Southern Oklahoma homies, come on out. I believe Nemo's coming. Chris might
I'll
be
be
coming.
I will be there.
Tickets are still on sale at the goddardcenter.org, I think, or something like that. But tickets aren't too bad, but we would really appreciate you guys' support. We're headliners. There's no opening bands. It's going to be 2.5 hour show. So hopefully some of you guys come out and support us. And if not, we're doing at Okie State Room the weekend after that, that Saturday. We're playing out there too. So it doesn't cost anything to get to that one. It's a little bit closer. So. But so
I do have something to say. Tomorrow morning at the Virtue Center. Virtue Center is a place where people that deal with addiction and stuff. They're having breakfast with community leaders. They say come enjoy breakfast, meet our board, and learn how to make an impact on the community through acceptable addiction and mental health treatment services. Tomorrow at the Virtue Center in Norman. It'd be a really good thing to go check out. I'm going to be there. I'm also got a bunch of other things that I'm attending. I would definitely love to see you guys there.
do you have the address by chance, Chris?
Yes, the address is 2457 Wilcox Drive,
Okay.
Norman, Oklahoma.
And what time is that?
That's from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay, cool.
Right
yeah,
on.
so you guys come support guys, mental health and substance, alcoholism, usually 9 times out of 10 go hand in hand, man. So if you can do things to support community, that would be much appreciated. Nemo, you got some shout outs? Or you got
As
something?
always, I want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight to hear Payton's story. Man, we appreciate the comments, the love. So I'm going to shout everyone out. Shout out to A-Hall, Jacqueline Brooke Little, Jay Hussey, Justin Dryman, Sierra Dennis, love Sierra, Carmel Riggs, Teresa Geist, Blake Stevens. Shout out to Bernard Lambert. Bernard Lambert. I'm scrolling down. Here we go. Carrie Park. Jojo Casper, what's up, brother? Desiree Laney, Danny N, Sarah McMillian Delay, Mark Capozzi. Shout out to the homie Izzy. Danny N. I already said Danny N. Sorry. Is that my mic doing that?
I think it is.
No way, bro. No way. Okay. Bubba Harris, Christian Rupio Lopez, Jeff Hooten. What's up, Jeff? Shout out Jeff, man. Let's see. Man, a lot of y'all. Dustin Wayne George, Gail Lyons, and Vincent Vitale. I had to block him, y'all. He was cussing us out.
Still shouting them out, bro.
Shout out to Vincent, who was cussing us out. Chad, Gavin Green. I don't know. I just don't understand that. Like, I've never hopped on the internet and said, man, I'm gonna cuss people out in the comment section. Like, you got to be a real miserable person. Like,
well, there's like 3 other people from Ohio be like, I know where you're at. Dayton? Oh, yeah, right up the road. So,
oh, man. So, let's see, man. Shout out to William Timmons. Man, a lot of y'all tuned in tonight. That's what's up.
You got Tiffany and Twistle. That's one of my friends.
Tiffany, what's up? Shout out. Casper JoJo, man. Love that dude. He's always showing love, showing big love. I got to figure out my mic, y'all.
Yeah, something's cracking and popping. I thought somebody's frying something, or
I don't know why, but okay.
It's cool, man.
Maybe I did set it too close. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Stower. Shout out Aaron Bogle.
Boggle?
That's it, y'all. Warren McCarty, what up, homie? What up?
Man, that's so good, dude. Thank you, Payton. Man, that was really good, dude. And yeah, there's a couple of people commented, man, goosebumps. That was really good. Good.
Yeah,
shit.
I appreciate it, Payton. Guys, I got a haircut coming. Like,
Well,
right.
I'm doing this song for you, Nemo. So hang tight.
We aren't against TikTok. We want TikTok to keep going. But we are against the Chinese company.
Sorry, I just keep seeing the memes for this one.
With the Chinese
I
Communist
forgot
Party.
about us doing
TikTok,
this one.
TikTok.
That's so horrible. That is so horrible.
Repost this one, dog. It's been episode 52. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.